I don't use pesticides in my garden because I want to eat the food that I grow and I don't want to eat poison. So I want to show you what I've been using in my garden as someone on a budget to now be harvesting delicious winter tomatoes. Before I head into the kitchen, I'll show you what I need to work on. So I've got powdery mildew here. I don't want it to catch onto my tomatoes. Definitely not. And I'm also dealing with a little bit of tomato blight. So I'm going to make up 2 solutions to help deal with that. But first I'll deal with the physical issue by removing the diseased leaves on the tomato blight and the most diseased leaves on the powdery mildew. This is one I've done earlier. These vines are extremely bushy, so they do get a lot of moisture in them if you don't allow the air to circulate. So I pruned off all the branches down the bottom, and with this one I pretty much trimmed all the leaves up to the fruit because it did have a bit of blight on it. Then I took off all the sickest leaves on this pumpkin vine. Not super attached to this vine. I'm more concerned about the tomatoes that it's growing near, so I went pretty heavy-handed on it. This is all my clippings from those diseased leaves, and I'll chuck these in my green bin because I don't use it for anything other than diseased leaves because I compost everything in my garden. And this is the moment I got to harvest my first winter tomato, my first tomato from these vines. So I was very excited. I will toast these in the oven at like 200 degrees until they're all crispy. My greatest love, coffee. Who could survive without it? Definitely not me. I'm going to put my coffee grounds in here. Coffee grounds are all dried out and the eggshells are crispy. And I'll put them in the oven with the eggshells. Coffee grounds are all cooked now. Eggshells are cooked too. Just want them to be super crispy. I've got my pestle and mortar. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. They're hot. Hear that crunchy noise? You can tell they're done when you can grind them into a fine powder. It was here I realised I had so many eggshells it was going to take me forever, so I chucked my eggshells in my mini blender and I chucked my coffee grinds in my mini blender and I blended them up into a fine powder. The reason I grind the eggshells down into a fine powder is because whole eggshells take forever to break down, and if you grind them into a fine powder they take like weeks to months instead of years to break down. And this prevents blossom end rot because it releases calcium into the ground. Tomatoes need calcium. And because it's in a fine powder, I can spread it more evenly and further over the ground. And the reason I dry out the coffee and grind it up into an even finer powder is because if you put it onto the ground fresh, it can form like a thick crust and your soil isn't going to do very well. So I grind it up, and this gives the soil a nitrogen boost and organic matter that helps bring in the earthworms. So I don't do this all the time. This is a sometimes thing. I'm going to make a milk spray, some full cream milk and 0.5 of a litre spray bottle, 120 mils of milk, and I'm going to put 280 mils of water. You don't have to be perfect with this either. Milk spray made. These are the remaining pumpkin leaves after I trimmed the rest. And you want to spray them pretty heavily on the top of the leaves and the bottom of the leaves. This is supposed to be done in the sun when the sun's out. There's a little bit there, see? Because it's supposed to react with the sun. This actually doesn't get much sun. So I'll just do the best I can. Have another spray bottle. This is going to be bicarb water. Now this is for my tomato blight. So it says under a teaspoon, so a tiny little bit of bicarb. That's under a teaspoon. And I'll fill the rest up with water. So if this works, I will do this every time I grow tomatoes. All right, I'm just going to spray the bicarb mixture. Look, there's a little bit of potato blight. Oh, tomato blight. We'll just pull that off. And hopefully the bicarb works to keep it at bay. But we'll soon find out. And I read you have to get it on the back and the front of the leaves. Potato blight. Ah, tomato blight. What am I talking about?
I also occasionally sprinkle the wood ash from my fireplace around my tomatoes on the soil because it has potassium and calcium in it, and apparently it's good for the fruit flavour. So I do that too sometimes. And this one I just do because I have the pieces of copper laying around from my husband's work. Because I have the copper, I just stick them in the ground near my plants. I have no idea if it does anything, but I figure it's not going to hurt.
This is the first broccoli I have ever grown. Look at that. I'm so excited. This is my little lettuce garden. I've got a bit of weeds in here at the moment. So I've grown food, like dabbled in it since my son was a baby. He's 14 now, but I never really took it very seriously. I didn't try to learn what worked and what didn't. I just did it for fun. This past little while, I've started taking it a bit more seriously. We've had a bit of stuff in the media here in Australia about pesticides on our berries. The amount that Australia allows compared to some European countries. We have pesticides here that are banned in Europe, and it really worries me. I don't want my family to get sick, pretty much. That's what this channel is going to be all about, and that's why I started this channel. I just want to see if I can grow food for my family. I have a pretty tight budget, so I can't just go down to Bunnings and buy 6 raised beds and whatever. So I've got to do it slowly and carefully. But if you're interested in watching, any tips would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, I'd love that. This one's like fully ripened on the vine. We made it. Look. And this one, oh, they're all warm. They're all warm from being in the sun today.